GSL.
What's up, guys? Jason Artos here for the GSL Code S. We are in Group F now. G. And G, I was just testing you. I'm not good at the alphabet, but I am good at StarCraft. And we're going to go into that shortly here with 4 great players here today. But first an interview to see what their thoughts are.
G조 경기로 인사드립니다.
Before going into this
안녕하세요,
match.
문규리입니다. 자, 오늘 경기가 바로 죽음의 조 G조 경기입니다. 오늘 정말 32강이라고 하기에는 아쉬운 막강한 선수들로 구성이 되어 있는데요. 과연 선수들은 어떤 생각을 하고 있을지 한 분씩 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 가장 먼저 얼마 전 그토록 바라던 국내 리그 우승을 달성하면서 투명 라인을 벗어났죠. 자, CJ 엔티스 김준호 선수 바로 만나보겠습니다.
And finally got an individual tournament championship in Korea.
네.
herO.
자, 김준호 선수 우승자. 네, 축하드립니다.
Congratulations on your championship. He says thank you. How did you feel?
그토록 원했던 거기 때문에 되게 기뻤어요.
I really wanted to be a champion in Korea, and I finally did it. I'm really happy.
제가 보기엔 벗어난 것 같은데 이제 또 오르는 게 2티어 대회에서 우승했잖아요. 그래서 이제 1티어 대회에서 우승하면
But it was a second tier tournament,
완벽히 이제 없어질 것 같아서.
so I'm really hoping to win a tier 1 tournament like GSL Code S. So I'm
방금
hoping to do well here
말씀하신
today.
대로 정말 GSL에서 잘하시면 될 것 같은데 지난 시즌 너무 아쉬웠어요. 이번 시즌 어떤
Last season you were knocked out in the
마음으셨어요?
semifinals. Tell us about that.
일단 다른 선수들 의식하기보다 제 자신이 지금 너무 자신 있어가지고.
You know, I'm not really thinking about other players, or I'm just very confident in myself. So I'm really happy coming into the studio today, and I feel good about today's matches.
상관없으세요?
네, 방금도 말씀드렸듯이 다른 선수는 의식이 하나도 안 돼가지고. 네,
I don't really care what I face today.
제가 의식이 안 돼서.
Everybody's good here, but I think I am better than everybody else right now.
김준호 선수 GSL 덤블링은 많이 할수록 즐거운 것 같아요. 이번 시즌 우승 달성하고 덤블링 가는 거죠?
We're talking about the ceremony that he did in StarLeague.
반응이 그렇게 좋은 것 같진 않죠.
저희는 완전
He said my fans
환영입니다.
didn't really like my ceremony, so I don't think I'm going to do it again this time.
네, 다른.
기대를 하고 있겠습니다. 자,
maybe if I
마지막으로
become a
오늘
champion
경기
today, I'll do it
가고
once more. We'll
들어보도록
see.
하겠습니다.
네, 오늘 자신감 충분하니까 팬분들 응원해주시면
I'm really confident for today's matches. I hope you guys support me, and I'm going to pay you guys who support me back with some great
자,
matches.
김준호 선수의 상대 바로 만나보겠습니다.
That is the best
자, 생애 첫
payment that you
예선을
can get.
뚫고 코드 A를 거쳐 단숨에 코드 S까지 올라왔는데요. 데드픽스의
Now on to
조지현
his
선수
opponent, who went through Code A and is now in Code S.
네, 반갑습니다.
Patience.
안 반가우세요? 네, 자,
Nice
첫
to meet you.
코드
He says
소감
nice to meet you.
어떠세요?
Patience has his mic on backwards right now. Yes, how does it feel to be in your first Code S? He says it feels, since it's my first Code S, I really want to be in the group selection. In other words, get to the next round.
상대가 요즘 참 기세가 좋은 김준호 선수네요.
But your opponent is the best Protoss right now. How do you feel about that?
제가 연습을 많이 못하고 와서 자신은 많이 없는데
I really couldn't practice much recently, so today I'm actually not that confident. I'm just going to have to try to do my best.
네, 오늘 눈도장 확실히 찍을 수 있는 좋은 기회니까 팬들에게 오늘 경기 각오 말씀해 주시죠.
So a lot of fans will be watching today. Do you have anything to say to your fans?
할 테니까 팬분들
I'm going to do my best today, guys. I
응원해
hope you guys
주셨으면
support me and cheer for me.
네, 저희
Thank
마이크
you.
거꾸로 하셨네요. 이제 확인했는데, 네, 오늘
Alright, we got the mic
정말
turn.
기대하겠습니다. 네, 자, 다음 선수 만나보겠습니다.
That's how you tell me GSL someone's been in.
That's the
That
side.
shiny part of GSL isn't for you to look at. Patience.
김준호 선수.
Not yet.
안녕하세요.
Now on to Dream,
네.
who's been doing really well
이틀
recently.
연속 개인 리그 일정이어서 피곤하실 것 같은데 컨디션 어떠세요?
너무 피곤하고
So you've been playing 2 days row in tournaments. How do you feel? And he says, I feel tired. I don't really care for my group, and I don't feel very confident
저희
today.
앞에 지금
And she says, I don't like
모두
anything about
걱정하고
my group.
계신데 그래도
You shouldn't either. This is a tough
열심히
one.
해야죠. 오늘 준비는 어떻게 잘
But you still have to do
되셨나요?
your best anyways. How did you prepare for today's matches?
준비는 최선을 다했지만 조가 어려워서
I did my best to practice, but my group's, again, really difficult.
열심히
So I'm
해보려고.
not that confident,
조가
but I'm going to
어렵다고
do my best.
말씀하셨는데 오늘의 상대 이영호 선수에 대한 조금 좀 자신감이 없는 모습을
So does that mean that you are not confident against Flash
오셔서
specifically?
어떤 이야기 있었나요?
이용호 선수랑요?
네.
아니요, 그런 거 서로 인사만 했고
She asked him if he talked to Flash at all before it. He said, well, I just said hi to him.
인사만 했어요.
그렇군요. 네, 오늘 어떤
Yeah, that's all I did.
패턴을
I just said hi.
보여주실지
That's all I
정말 기대가 되는데 오늘 32강전 각오 들어보겠습니다.
So, anyways, what's your goal for today?
조가 죽음의 조지만
Since my group's
제 실력에 자신이
since my group is group of death,
조 1등으로 올라가도록
I'm still confident about my skills, so I'm going to try to go advance in first place out of my group.
네. 자, 조준현
can't blame
선수의
him when you got a
상대
group like
바로
that, you know.
말씀해
It is.
드렸듯이 오늘 어떤 태태전 나올지 참 기대가 되는 선수죠. KT 로스터의 이영호 선수 만나보겠습니다.
So, on to our final player, Flash, a man who needs a little introduction.
됐는데 이번 시즌 소감 좀 들어볼게요.
네, 오랜만에 이렇게 GSL
back in Code S. How do you feel?
올라왔는데,
It's been a long time since I've been in the
오랜만에
GSL,
올라온 만큼 오늘 꼭 이기도록 하겠습니다.
so I'll
아시다시피
do my
지금
best
조가
for today.
죽음의 조로 꼽히고 있습니다. 조 편성 딱 보셨을 때
So
어떠셨어요?
your group is known as the group of death. How do you feel?
처음에는 생각 없었는데 지금
At first I didn't care
생각해보면
much about
다른
my group.
대회에서는 진짜
But
센것 같아요.
as I think about it, I guess it is a very hard group.
예, 뭐 항상 태태전은
He said,
자신감이
but you're
있는
good
것
at
같아요.
TVT, aren't you? And he
오늘도
says, yeah, I am very confident against Terran players as
자신
always.
있어요.
와, 네, 자신감이 있다 말씀하셨는데 요즘 개인 방송도 열심히 하시면서 팬들과 소통을 또 하고 있어요. 팬분들의
So you
응원도
stream a
많이
lot.
받고 오셨을 것 같은데
And
오늘
you've been
멋지게 또
communicating with your
각오한
fans a
말씀
lot.
부탁드립니다.
So
예,
any comments
오늘 일단
to
제가
them?
꼭 올라간다고 했는데 기세 이제 빨리
I
다시
promised
찾을
them that I
때가
would
된 것
advance
같고
today.
오늘 꼭 이겨서 다시 좋은 모습 보여드리도록
I think I'm
하겠습니다.
almost
네,
at my
알겠습니다.
peak
오늘 활약
performance.
기대하겠습니다.
So expect
자,
some
이렇게
great
오늘
games. I'm going to be
죽음의 조
okay.
D조 선수분들 모두
And that does it, Artie.
확인했습니다. 자,
Do you know where he
오늘
streams,
경기
actually?
시작해봐야죠. 중계진 나와주세요.
I'm not entirely sure. Where does Flash stream on Twitch?
Yeah.
He does stream on Twitch, okay.
Yeah,
A
every
lot
now
of
and then.
players stream on a free cup, so I wasn't sure.
Yep, he does do Twitch though.
Okay, great. Well, you can always catch Flash there. Flash somebody, excuse me, Flash somebody who's had phenomenal performance, the best performance in Brood War. But when it comes to StarCraft II, he is not measured up to his former self. So
Well, it's impossible to. Like, he was the best player ever in a game that had a professional scene for like 10 plus years. So that's like, how does anyone
But
ever get to that?
I think even beyond that, he has never been close to his former self.
Yeah, he's never
He wasn't
been
a
number one
player
in
who
the
was
world.
top 10 even in StarCraft II. I don't think there's any moment that you could have fairly said that.
I think a lot of
some people
angry nerds right
I'm
now
sure a
are
lot of
hating
nerds
Tasis.
are yelling at their computer screens. I can't hear you guys. There was a lot of hype when
hear you
these
guys.
mics, these headsets are not that good. A lot of people were very hyped right when StarCraft, in this phase where all the Brood War players were switching over into StarCraft II. But that hype was not comparable to actual tournament results. So
Yeah.
we've been waiting for a while to see if players like Flash would do as well as some of these other players who switched over from Brood War. For instance, MVP was a top Brood War player.
Yeah.
Switched over and ended up being, I think what some people could say was the best player of all time consistently.
Yeah, for sure.
And we thought we were going to see that with Flash. Maybe we haven't yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how far he gets in this tournament.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch him. People do love him. A lot of fans out there, no doubt, including us. In fact, even though
Sure.
we have to make fun of sometimes the Flash fans that are just a little bit too
A bit
too
much.
into how good he is. But by the way, guys, go ahead and download the GOMEXP app. We have all sorts of contests that we're running on there all the time about prediction and whatnot. Speaking of which, what is your prediction?
I'd say Dream Hero.
Dream herO. That's the prediction that people should be making, but
I'd
based
say
on what
maybe Hero first, then Dream second. Although I think most people would say Dream first.
I would say,
but-
that very good chance that herO gets out of this group first. I really don't. I don't think that Dream is going to get out of this group first, for sure. I think Flash has a decent chance of getting out of here as well.
I would be very excited if Flash got out. We need more Terrans in the round of 16.
Wouldn't it be great if Dream and Flash got out and then we just, had that happen? That'd be great.
That would be cool.
But that's a
Only,
sick lineup of players so far.
Only 3 Zergs in the round of 16. So this is looking a little bit like we had what we had last year, where it was actually the Terrans that were pretty sparse in numbers.
Hey, we're
We're
going
having that
back
with
to
Zergs
old
here.
school GSL.
This is the Wings of Liberty first 3 seasons we
Yeah.
had in the early days of GSL, where Terrans were more dominant.
Well, that was a long stretch of GSL, I would say.
A lot of TVTs.
Yeah.
Great matchup though. Didn't mind it.
No, TVT is fun. As you see today, we'll have at least one TVT with Dream vs. Flash. Starting out, of course, with herO against Patience in a PvP.
Now, Patience is the underdog by a lot here. We even saw Artosis in the interview. He did not have the mic pointed the right way. And as much as I want to joke about that, that's usually an indicator that you have not been on. You have not done the whole GSL production thing.
Oh, this is first, so.
You can usually see the comfort levels of players and the difference they have there. Guys who have been in a lot of GSLs, how just more natural they look in the interview process in the booth. I've talked to a lot of pro gamers in my day, and many people say that the most stressful periods of their entire careers are not when they're on stage in front of thousands of people, but when they're in the studio in that booth. Because this is, hands down, the most prestigious tournament in StarCraft II, easily one of the most prestigious tournaments, I'd say, actually, of esports of all time. I think it's going to be basically unmatched. So to get even one round deeper each time is huge.
Indeed.
But it's a lot of pressure. I was actually talking to Moonglade about this, who was who played in GSL, and I was asking him, what for you was the biggest difference, the biggest stressful factor? You were saying the rate at which they move on in games. You just get done with an hour game, 2 minutes off, and go back into the next one. Yeah. You have a restroom break. I mean, that's like 45 seconds. You get back in there and finish that game, and that's pretty tough. Not a lot of time to reflect or think about that loss.
No, certainly
not. Groups in GSL are pretty dynamic. You don't know who your opponent's necessarily going to be. You have maybe a rough idea, but it's a constantly changing group. So we really do pick the best of the best here with a process like this.
Well, speaking of best of the best, this is the best Protoss in the world. He has been for quite some time now. Really showing it right now. That recent Kespa Cup win, of course. He's the best there is as far as Protoss goes. I'm really excited to have him get very deep this season. I want to see him win a GSL. The guy is like helping to revolutionize things, or he has in the past.
Important to note is that there are only 3 Code S's a year now. So it's very tough to be a champion. We used to get done with seasons of GSL in a month, then make another one the next month. Not anymore. Now we spread them out, I think, in a much better fashion.
Indeed.
Much better for TV, much better for the players, much better for the viewers. And so you can follow a season, I'd say, more easily while still having a job or going to school, but only 3 seasons, man. And by the way, this guy here, Patience, first time in Code S. We're going to see if this guy is clutch or anti-clutch.
Well, he's played so many tournaments abroad. Played in WCS abroad as well. He's had good results recently. He's had good results overall. I think that he is a very clutch player. I think he's not going to be too nervous. And I think his level is good. His level's good enough that he could sneak his way right out of this group. I don't predict that to be the case, but he's a strong player. The thing is, he does err on the side of cheesy. So you've got to watch out for that, and I think if players are watching out for that, then he might have a little bit harder time for sure.
Our map lineup: Overgrowth, Deadwing, Expedition Lost. The vetoes for herO, Iron Fortress, Bonnie Research Station, and the vetoes for Patience, King Sejong Station, and Merry-Go-Round.
All right, well, Overgrowth, it is the standard map to start out on. PvP, a very complicated matchup.
I think this is the best map for these 2 guys to start out on. A standard map, but it's one-on-one. You can do a little bit of sneaky stuff in there.
Absolutely. You could see anything here. There could be proxies, there could be straight-up play, there could be mind games.
Absolutely.
PvP generally includes all those.
And our game is now loaded up, so tell your friends to tune in here as we're beginning Group G Match 1 with herO against Patience as they fight to go on to the winner's match in the GSL Code S. In the bottom left corner of the map, in the red, he is
CJN2's herO.
Already his percentage chance of winning this game far up because there's no gateways in his base.
In the upper right, in the blue, he is
Dead Pixel's Patience.
Quite a strong player, but is he strong enough to take on a herO?
I'm betting no, but I would love to be wrong in this case.
I would love to be wrong.
I would be delighted to see Patience upset here, but
I gotta disagree with you there, Tasteless. I would not be delighted to see the best Protoss in the world knocked out by Patience, like doing something like, you know what? I'm gonna guess that you're gonna make an observer because you don't want to die to something stupid. So I'm just gonna make only blink stalkers and kill you because I have one more.
Okay.
I don't want to see that.
Okay, fair enough.
And if you want to see that, Tasteless, you'd be delighted to see that, Tasteless. You know what, Tasteless?
Hey,
I think you and I have to have a talk about our relationship.
As you can see, wait, there's so much on these sides. Mother said, "Don't get fat," but I wanted to see StarCraft. I can only read so fast. I missed the sign on the right. We caught that at the tail end. I was locked into Artosis' doe eyes, and then I noticed we had that sign up.
My
by the way, if you
eyes.
make signs in our audience, you get GSL coins, and you can use those for giveaways, prizes.
We're still doing GSL coins this season?
I hope so, because I just said that. I have not
Guys,
been, I have not been informed that we stopped doing that. So,
Victor,
oh, nice. Hey, Victor. Oh, I love that emote. What is the actual name of that emote, by the way? I know it's like technically a donger, but what is that? Do we know?
I think it's called the Nathanius.
Oh, that is the Nathanius.
Yeah.
By the way, herO checking everywhere on the map.
And putting a pylon over there to the side. We'll see what he wants to do with this.
Something sneaky, Artosis.
Somewhat.
Probably a Stargate.
Definitely could be a Stargate. That would be... I mean, he could make a Twilight there, and nothing's stopping him, but I would say a Stargate's a good guess.
Do we know if different dongers have different names? Those little guys that are usually banned in Twitch chat, the little stick figure emotes?
Well, I mean, I've spoken to people that have raised multiple dongers, and yes, each and every one has a name. That's actually kind of
right. Leave those little guys
discriminatory of you to think that...
But is there a name for like that emote that we saw with the eyes and the nose?
I don't know.
It's kind of a pervy face.
It is a little.
It is a little pervy
face.
look. So we got the Stargate coming up here.
Stargate for Patience as well.
Which is not a bad decision here. Not that Patience is doing this because he knows about the other Stargate, but that's not. If you're getting your own Stargate against a proxied Stargate, it could be a pretty good thing.
Well, what matters here is if Patience goes for a Phoenix. If he goes for a Phoenix, he's in great shape. If he goes for an Oracle, he's behind. Because the Oracle will get there quicker for herO. He'll see that an Oracle is going to be on the way to his base, and he'll be ready for it.
Note the mothership
Whoa!
core. What?
That's a quick Nexus.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
That can definitely change things as well. Like, such a quick Nexus. Now, herO doesn't know about this Nexus, but if he sees it, he can probably stop it because he started with Oracle. But yeah, okay, look, he's actually adding 2 gates. If you perfectly control Oracle 3 gate, you should be able to knock down a fast Nexus pretty much every time. And herO is a player that can absolutely do that. Oh, you can't lose that.
Well, that really didn't do much damage at all.
No,
he
but
got 1 probe.
Yeah, he got the Nexus cannon off, and you always got to count that in. So now he sees a Nexus, build a pylon, warp in Stalkers. How does your opponent hold on against this?
I don't know if they can, Artosis. I think there's a high chance. Well, let's see if this pylon gets spotted before we say anything else, because getting that pylon delayed is pretty huge.
Now, he does see it. We do have this Stalker coming up from the side, but multiple Stalkers coming up from herO.
herO's pretty all in from this point.
Yep.
Normally, unless, I mean, there are exceptions here, but normally Protoss does not expand after, like if this fails, normally the game's over. But there is a cancel here on Patience Nexus, so this game can normalize, but herO should still try to dive in and get a win.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't at least try to poke like one time.
Yeah.
But, you know, his opponent is... Ooh, this is a nice nice catch there indeed. Oh my god. That Oracle did 0. Patience, as you can see, really getting behind here.
Yeah.
Losing his Oracle, no damage there. Has to cancel that very fast Nexus, which slowed everything down to make it. Meanwhile, herO with the mobility, getting the blink. The one thing that we can say for Patience is that he does have Robotech and making some mortals with some Phoenixes. So maybe he can get something done with that.
So the tables have turned a bit here. By good decision-making from herO, he's caused that expansion to cancel. And since he is going to expand on this, if this game had gone differently and the Nexus had finished, herO would have gone for the kill. But now herO does have the option to try to get this expansion up himself. And Patience is either going to expand with this or try to attack into herO. I'd say expanding with this probably a better bet, and that's what he does right now up here at the top.
Yeah, but as we see, you know, with this, the balance of power has swung towards herO with the quicker Nexus. He caught him. Patience was trying to do a very, very greedy build. And it's... Now he's got to fight from a little bit behind. It's not hugely behind, but it is a little bit behind.
So the proxy pylon's picked off. herO's happy to give that away to have more economic security later on. The probe also parked back there. It's always a good move to do, just because you have 100% certainty when they send the probes there, so you can really feel out. Even though players at this level usually know, it's just good to have that certainty, especially if it's a best of 3, which is, you know, your tournament life is basically hinged on.
Yeah.
So leave that there. And of course, sometimes players cancel that as well, the Nexus, and do something crazy.
Well, right now we do have those Phoenixes coming out, and he does get to tag them. Picks one off, but unfortunately loses his Phoenix and Oracle. So that's a little bit annoying, but at least he knows what's going on here as far as Phoenix count goes.
And we have the Nexus cannon activated, driving back herO's Stalkers for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it's great for him to keep the pressure on here, at least for the time being.
Yeah, he should have basic control of the game right now. One thing I want to say is, like, if Patience here goes for one Colossus in an attack, I think that's the absolute best he can do. Like
I agree.
I think that would probably result in a victory.
Well, I think you're quite correct, Artosis, because the Robotics Bay is going to be later here for herO. He's just very Stalker heavy. Already Immortals out right now for Patience. If he gets a Colossus to top that off with some splash damage, I think a push is going to be very, very powerful.
Like, these Immortals are going to be brutal. And look how many, like, Stalkers that herO wants. Not that this is bad or wrong in any way, but very top-end Protosses just love Blink Stalkers to death and can do so much with them.
I think you get your money's worth out of Blink Stalkers if you're good at controlling them.
Absolutely, and it gives you such map control. They are useful later on as well. But as you see here, the Phoenix is doing some light harassment. He sees even more Stalker Zone. Look at this. He's on his 4th Immortal. I am telling you, he is going to go for a Colossus and go kill him. Like, it would turn into a base trade most likely.
He's going to Forge.
Oh.
So I'd say he's not doing that, which is unfortunate. Well,
unfortunate.
He's getting a robotics support bay with a Forge, but if you're getting a Forge, that usually means you're not going to attack unless you're pretty bad. You don't get upgrades and invest in late game if you're also going to try to end the game right away. You would want to get more attacking units and cut probes, stuff like that.
I think you're probably right about that. I prefer the 2-base on because it's so straightforward as far as having a better unit comp for Patience here. Like, his units just win in a straight-up fight. So if he's prepared for a base trade, like, he could literally do something like bring 5 probes with him, and like with 4 Immortals and something to step on force fields and whatever gateway units he can make. How does a Stalker-based army ever actually beat that?
See, I thought for a second he was going to get that Observer. Looks like that Observer narrowly escapes. Definitely don't want to lose Observers in the mid-game. It's really annoying, since everything is really about the Robotech. Nice! Ooh. 2 Phoenix kill, basically making those Phoenixes useless too, or pretty much not going to do anything but pick up a stray probe.
Yeah, they're basically for scouting now, I guess.
This game has not been going at all like we predicted any part of it too. These guys are both reacting quite differently. Patience did go for that Forge and is upgrading, is now taking a 3rd, funnily enough, before herO, which is a bit atypical of a PvP, the way you normally expect it to work.
Certainly, yeah. And you see now, herO is trying to trade in Stalkers anywhere he can because he sees what the strategy is here from Patience. Like, when you spend that much on Blink Stalkers, your opponent can do like a counter on with those Immortals, or they can wait till much later and just have a better unit composition because you don't want 15 Stalkers in a maxed army. You don't want it. It's not that good. They're not that useful. So it looks like he's like, okay, if I can trade these off, just even at a slight deficit, that's better than keeping these in my composition. Well, this is.
I guess this is just going to work.
Yeah.
So he snuck over there, and he's going to look. This is great. Double pronged attack. Going for the Colossus over here. He's going to get the Nexus at the other location, and this is why herO is generally regarded, actually always regarded, as a better player than somebody like Patience is. Being able to do this much damage and control the movement of your opponent on the map. Look at this, even getting probes here, is normally how a better player beats a lesser player.
Yeah.
Now he'll lose these stalkers. That does not matter.
No, it doesn't. Look at how many probes he's killed. He's gotten the.
Oh my God, I love that play.
The Nexus.
Back wave look on it.
Like, it seems like what has to happen now is Patience probably has to do that all-in we were talking about. You know, but
After
like
the fact.
way later, when we actually have good units out from herO. Like, herO has some Immortals and Colossi, so this type of attack now is like infinitely less efficient than it was before, but you know, he's kind of forced into it, right? Oh man.
You know, Patience is really running out of gas here. This is not going to go on for much longer. Either Patience is going to try to win this right now, or this is going to be a pretty slow, painful death for him. It is 133 supply for Patience to 121 for herO. Well, if he loses all these stalkers, that's one way to drop this game, but I was going to say, what a throw that would be if he just lost all those.
Yeah, well, he lost quite a few.
I think he's still okay.
Yeah, I still like herO's spot overall. He does have that. Well, I guess he's not really been mining from the third base, so it's not quite as good as it could be here, but
It's basically the Nexus is like a this seat reserved sign.
It's almost like what happened before, like Patience once again took a faster base, and then herO once again messed that up and got the quicker expansion. And this time it happened at the natural early on. Now it's happened at that third base.
Bit of a bumpy game here from herO, considering how much we've casted this guy.
Dude,
Normally he's pretty flawless, but
those two Phoenixes have a combined 17 kills.
that is something
Put
else,
that
man.
into perspective.
Damn.
That's a little bit crazy. And the game has like evened out a lot more than what I was expecting after that beautiful Nexus snipe.
Yeah. Well, Patience is going to back up here. Kind of sticking with his ID, but I'm not sure how effective this is going to be. PvP, really late game, it's a funny thing because a lot of it is about the sheer number of Colossus you have, and then the angle that you engage at. So, as you can see, they're both building up the Colossus count pretty high, both at 5 right now. But the Colossus count is almost not as important as the angle at which the armies hit.
Yeah. That definitely has so much to do with it. Like, if you have a big arc, thing is, when you make Colossus, it's this funny balance. Like, where are you going to engage based on how many Colossus you have? Because you need them all shooting. Like, if you have all your Colossus shooting at once, that's like the first thing on the checklist. Like, oh, okay, there you go. This is a good place.
Well, it's funny because the way that they move, they tend to bunch up into a knot, you know?
Yeah.
And
that's not how you want them.
Yeah. Oh, Artosis. He gave me a wink, guys. He winked at me after he did that. That was only for my eyes, but I'm going to share that with you.
Tasis is a liar. It's really weird.
He actually blinked.
Like, everyone blinks Tasis.
Well, the Stalkers have been doing a pretty good job. You know, Patience doesn't really have much of an answer for this.
Yeah.
He's been on the defense, and he's been a bit lackluster at that with the defense. Let's see how the rest of this game goes. They're locked in supply right now at about 165 supply for both armies, but I got to say this has been one of the bumpier PvPs we've casted for a Code S game, at least one that's gone into late game.
Yeah, it's there's been some funny little back and forths here. A lot of it just because herO has chosen to stay aggressive with his style and to be the one putting on pressure, which is a good thing. But the fact that Patience has actually been this patient is pretty surprising and a very strong play because, look, he's keeping up reasonably well considering all the road bumps he's hit here from herO.
Well, here's the beginning of what could be turning this game around. He's going to go ahead and drop over here, try to get these Zealots to do some damage. Now, normally when you do an attack like this, you want to take your main army and hit another location. And, you know, it's funny, while this game's gone on, all of a sudden, supply is drastically different, 172 to 190. So herO a moments away from maxing out.
Yeah.
Don't quite know what the story was with that. I guess he lost some of those Zealots, but that shouldn't be all of it.
Yeah.
So, Colossi count, it's 6 to 8.
Yeah.
I guess, did herO get a second robotics
he
facility?
did.
I didn't actually catch that. Good call.
Yeah, his econ was a little bit better for a long time now. So And he does have not just 2 more Colossi, but he has 2 more Immortals. He does have 3 less Archons, and Archons are important as well, so just something to keep in mind. But we do have a 4th base being taken by both players at the moment.
Notice the 4th base. Oh, sorry.
He's getting it up first again.
Yeah, also his is in a bit of a better position to attack and defend at the same time. Where herO is much more interested in being tucked away. Note that it's very difficult to tell where your opponent's supply is at this phase of the game. herO had no way of knowing that he had a supply lead there.
Yeah.
So that might have been one of the main reasons why herO didn't attack. Although what herO is doing right is he's drawing this main army out of position, and this means that this expansion over here for Patience is going to have to be canceled. No way this can be saved.
And that will mean for the 3rd time this game, the base that Patience tried to take before herO took it, Patience ends up losing / canceling.
Also, I love the DTs here in the late game. You can send 1 DT to each base and start killing probes.
Absolutely. They're really useful.
It's a pretty big strain, right? Because you don't have a ton of observers at this phase of the game. You normally have about 2, sometimes just 1.
And don't forget, when you're not actually having giant engagements, gas is the limiting factor. So he's actually utilizing those because they are 25 gas less for Archons.
Oh, this angle might actually favor Patience here.
Yeah, let's see some great time warps going down on both sides here. Looks like Patience does feel that he has to back up right now. herO attacking forward. Both backing up. Neither wants to go through that choke. Look at that spread right now from Patience on the left.
Pretty sick bottleneck there. If herO's going to try to come through that.
If he walks into there, he might just straight lose the game.
And he's walking right in there, Artosis.
Well, he's taking a hell of a lot of splash damage.
Yeah, herO might have just lost his game, actually. We'll see. What's important is the Colossi are all low on HP, but right now, Patience isn't actually microing towards the weakened Colossi.
Well,
so I guess that doesn't matter. There it is, GG.
herO had the flank, and he actually had the better Robo army.
We didn't have that on screen, but yeah, he had a bunch of Zealots coming down there at the bottom, hitting nicely done. herO, better execution. A clunky game for a Code S PvP, but it did show us the Patience staying true to his name, being smart, being calm, not overcommitting.
Yeah, that game had a lot of great fundamentals in it, I do have to say. Like, we saw how the builds matched up, how the movement of the Blink Stalkers just kind of outplayed Patience, and that's why you see someone like herO making so many.
You can see right now Patience looks a bit shaken, understandably slow. The pressure's on. That's a tough one, by the way. herO, the best Protoss in the world, going into a long game like that, that's a true test of might.
Well, I think Patience played well. He got behind a few times early on and still kind of made it a game, so that's very impressive. I'm surprised, though, he didn't try for something like a counter-all, and when he had, for instance, 3 or 4 Immortals against 0 Immortals and just mostly Blink Stalkers.
Sure, yeah.
Situations like that, you can, take that small risk that oftentimes pays off in a big reward. But herO just kind of keeping the fear of the counterattack in him. Well done.
Map number 2 is going to be on Deadwing. Can Patience start to come back? Remember, if he's killed here, he's not knocked out of Code S. He has to go to the losers match, win there, and then come back into the finals match. And the countdown has started as we now go on to our second game right now. herO looking primed to win. But upsets do occur. We have seen players like Patience overcome all odds.
It is doable. I think he played a good game there. So
sure, absolutely.
He got behind early on, so it was tough.
Deadwing also a very different map, not a one-on-one map, important to note. Also much bigger. I'd say counterattacks a little bit more viable. Hiding stuff, definitely more doable on this map. So this may reward a different play style. We'll see how much Patience has adapted versus herO just, I guess, staying true to what he's been for a while now. The best Protoss, or at least one of the best Protosses out there. Anyways, the game is loaded up. So let's go into that. Game number 2 on Deadwing. herO against Patience as they fight. In the bottom left, in the red, he is
CJN2's herO.
And in the upper left, in the blue, he is
Dead Pixel's Patience.
Oh my god, that was a ghost. That was the Grim Reaper in a sweatshirt.
That is exactly
That's
who that
exactly
is.
who that was. That was the Grim Reaper on his day off.
He's playing some StarCraft.
I didn't know the Grim Reaper on his day off wore sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
Who doesn't on their day off, though? Well, he's on their shirt. He probably doesn't wear pants.
For sure.
Pants aren't what you want to wear when you're playing games.
If I'm not working, I'm probably not wearing pants.
Yeah. In fact, when I
Sorry,
get to work,
delivery
I'm not wearing
guy.
pants either. Indeed. Some support for herO out there.
Also, thanks for the support from our sponsor, SBENU.
That's right, SBENU pretty awesome. By the way, guys, during this early game when there's not a whole lot going on, maybe you want to go download the GOMTV app. It's a good app. Go download it.
Yeah. People can't buy SBENU shoes outside of Korea, can they? There's no website?
I do not believe so.
Somebody let me know if you can, actually. It's a great shoe site. Then when you
I
guys
have
come down
some
to the
SBENU
studio, you
shoes.
can be like,
Shoes are
taste
very
our
nice.
toast. You point to your SBENU shoes, and we're like, oh! And then we point to our SBENU shoes, we're like, oh! High fives all around.
Indeed.
High fives making rainbows.
5-color rainbows.
Now, this probe's coming down here in the bottom left.
Yeah. Just a little bit of scouting going on.
Oh, from France.
O Gaming, very popular
Yes.
organization there.
Are we ready? Is it time for me to say it?
What?
Hey, Artosis, did you know I was born in France?
You were born in France? You're an American, though, Tasteless.
Yes, but I was born in
So you
France.
can't be president?
No, I
Oh,
can't.
thank God. Oh, man.
I think I'd be pretty good president.
You think so?
Yeah. Of France.
Sick. You know, I think someone's going to be very aggressive this game, Tasteless. I'm not sure who, but I can't imagine both these guys want to go to late game here.
You know, they might go to late game, though.
Well,
Just judging from
this
last
map,
game. Last game, somebody went aggressive, and the other guy then went to try to go aggressive later, and then
Yeah.
they both ended up in late game. But
That-
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Well, this map is different from every other map in StarCraft II for PvP. Like, I talk a lot about how in PvP, like, as soon as you figure out after your first base that your opponent isn't going to kill you, or can't kill you, rather, you make a forge. Like, that is what people do in PvP. When you figure out you can't kill each other, you make a forge. Whoever makes that first out of the two has a slight advantage and figured it out first, a lot of the time.
However, if you make
And-
that forge too early,
Yeah,
then you die.
Yeah, if they have any potential to kill you, you don't make the forge. But on this map, there's a second forge moment. But it's not for a second forge. But there's a second moment like this. Once you get a certain amount of Colossus and you figure out your opponent can't kill you, and you can't kill him, you go into Tempest tag.
Might have been the worst way to describe it.
No, it's
not a
perfect.
second forge moment because there's not a second forge.
No, it is a second forge
There's a
moment.
Tempest
Because the
moment.
forge moment is a moment.
Okay,
in
there's a
PvP.
forge moment and there's a Tempest moment.
Yeah, but it's a second forge moment because it only exists on this map, so it can't have its own name.
Yeah, it can. It totally
Look,
can.
I'm the one who said it, and I'm telling you it can't. I've decided this already. By the way, that was really good pro polling there.
Yeah, that was.
But,
DTs, hold up, DT rush with Blake
indeed.
in DTs. Duh.
Wow.
Ooh, wow. All right, I'm done. I'm going
Well,
home.
Patience is going blank, and the Mothership Corps saw this, which is good for herO. That he saw it, but because he saw blink, and because he had to warp out of there, he no longer has a Nexus cannon, and he might just completely be missing the possibility of DTs coming.
Ooh, good escape, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
herO was searching for that. That would be a great moment to make that in the exact spot. Let's see. We're going to get a shot of it in a second, but first this Oracle comes in here. Should have been 3 probe kills, but a bit of a misclick. Well, I guess,
you got
it
3.
was 3?
Yeah.
Okay, it should have been 4 then, because there was one that he didn't get. So, yeah, we do have that pylon, by the way, being made in the exact spot where it was canceled earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So herO will be unaware of that coming at him.
Yeah, this is... Luckily for herO, he has 2 oracles, so he might be able to get detection in time to not die to this DT, but his oracles are across the map. Looks like one is coming home. Okay, he might be sniffing out what's going on here, Tasteless.
Okay, the DT's coming in.
This is a huge moment for herO.
This is going to kind of set the pace for the rest of this game here. There is an Oracle over here. Oh! Nice reaction. Wow.
That is so good for herO.
Cat-like reflexes there.
Yeah.
Like a cat with a mouse who's very good at StarCraft.
Well, he gets the quicker Nexus, and he has overall, I would say, like, better tech. You have to play a little bit defensively against Oracles, right? Because they'll kill your probes. Whereas the DTs, like, as long as he keeps detection up, those DTs won't do very much. So definitely an edge here for herO.
Yeah, the second phase, if you have Dark Templars and they don't do anything, is you want to do this map control play where if they leave their base, you try to run in with DTs. But you don't normally want to set the game up so that that's what you're hinging your strategy for winning on. That's sort of organically what occurs post DT rush that doesn't win the game.
Yeah.
So herO's in good shape.
Indeed. Both getting... Oh, look! It's the first Forge moment. herO has realized, I cannot die here. And he makes his Forge.
We might go to the second Forge moment later on, which has nothing to do with the Forge, but involves making Tempest.
Yes.
We'll see if we actually...
That is a fact, Tasus.
We'll
Thank you for finally accepting the second Forge moment.
No problem. No problem. The Nexus finishes up here for Patience. And, yeah, we're going to see if Patience also makes his Forge.
Yeah, he's a little bit late. The thing is, he has to be a little bit more scared because he spent a lot of gas on getting Dark Templars, which did nothing. And Oracle into Blink builds, a lot of times the strategy the Oracle Blink player will utilize is making a lot of Stalkers and then trying to kill you. So he's being a little bit safer here. Still no Forge. He did go late Forge last game, too.
Did he? Yeah, I don't quite remember that last
game.
game.
Remember, because we thought he might all in, and then he, after 3 Immortals, he's like, oh, here's a Forge.
Yeah.
We're like, oh.
We're like, oh.
Did you forget that?
Whoa, Artosis.
Forget that? Yeah.
He's going to come up here. Note the one observer spotting there. The DT's going to get out of the way. Oh. He actually pushed that DT over there unintentionally into the pylon. But detection mode will come on here, and so he's going to save this pylon at the last second.
Nice save.
And the DT with probably one of the more dramatic death sound effects.
They can't see me, but I have feelings.
But I definitely have a damn good voice.
Well, it looks like you will. Poking a little bit, get one probe kill, get out of there. And there we go, the Forge moment for Patience, finally realizing he cannot die. But he is pretty far behind on that.
Oh, he might be able to intercept this. Oh, or he's going to get surrounded.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
And look at this, he's running towards the upper right. There's not really much of an escape here. He might try to go down, but this is also... Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I was going to say that Patience could have done a better job. I don't want to be too critical because it's a hard play, but he could have actually blocked him off there. Maybe this is going to happen again.
He might actually.
A rightward blink here. Now, remember, these Stalkers are isolated from home base, so they're stuck. They're moving on the center of the map now. Meanwhile, we have Patience actually heading down to herO's expansion.
This is a big deal, guys. It looks like, wow, nice force fields. He's got the time warp down. He's got a couple of mortals. This is turning into an absolutely fantastic hold from herO.
And now, actually, he can intercept this.
Yeah.
No, but fumbles everywhere for this interception. Still, nicely done there. I thought herO was going to be in a lot more trouble.
Calm down there, Colts fan. Bubble here from the interception. Great, Tasus. You watch later, Tasus will have a wardrobe
Stop
malfunction.
talking about concussion balls, Tasus. Oh, wow. Patience, some serious confidence there. Blinks right on top. Now, notice how herO is blinking away the weaker Stalkers, which means this engagement is going to go favorably here for herO. Although I can't blame Patience for actually... attempting to full-on blink on top of that.
He does have some more coming in from the side. One of the problems here is that herO did have +1 as well. Remember? He had that Forge moment first.
Ah, yes.
Uh-oh, double Oracle. herO's just gaining advantages all over the place.
Wow.
He's had great engagements, great harassment. That is a lot of probes going down.
These probes, yeah. That actually puts the probe count to even, funnily enough. He could actually blink up here and save this pylon, by the way. Oh, no, it's going to go down. Remember, that lost a lot of HP earlier to that DT.
Maybe trying to stay a little bit safe there. Colossus Tech just going to start now for Patience. There's herO already taking his third base.
You know, Patience is doing a good job. The problem is he's pretty much been behind from start to finish.
Yeah.
It seems like really what gets herO ahead is He's got very good instinct and game sense. So it's a few very basic decisions, like I'm going to get this upgrade, I'll expand here, I'll stop this expansion over there.
Yeah.
And
even the sending the Oracle back, he's like, okay, if you have DTs, it's coming now, I'll send this second Oracle back.
Exactly. So the game may look a lot less fancy than it is, but what hero's doing is pretty brilliant. He's just got very good game sense.
Yeah. He is.
And Patience, by the way, is doing a good job for playing in a deficit.
Yeah, there's no question. Patience is actually playing some really good PvP. It's not like Patience is playing poorly here. He's playing against the best Protoss in the world. I would definitely, put my money on Patience against the vast multitude of professional Protoss players out there with play like this. But herO just playing so well here. We do have the second Robo starting here for Patience. Now, herO may actually go for a killing blow. Notice that he's getting the charge upgrade. Definitely something that could point towards that. May want to hit, realizing that he has a Colossus lead and basically a lead in every way. And I wouldn't, again, I don't think he wants to go to late game, because when that second Forge moment comes in and you're making Tempest, that's where stuff gets really sticky.
Oh yeah, watch out for that. Don't get me to the third Force moment. That's when the guy types CG in there.
There's no such thing.
Well, right now the problem for Patience in the blue here is that he's boxed in. And you notice hero's punishing this by sending Stalkers into the main.
Yeah.
He has to defend that. If Patience comes back here and defends this, then herO runs into the front and battering rams down the third base. Oh my god, what? What is this, a feel-good movie for Stalkers? Like they all live? How did none of those die?
Seriously.
hero's story I've ever seen.
Is just herO is so brokenly good at Protoss. It's like so silly.
How did none of those Stalkers die? I'm almost a little bit annoyed.
That it was just so clean, tasteless.
This was like, well, we'll hold that thought.
Look at this.
Okay, so as you can see, the poking ability here for herO is just huge. You can run in there, just hit the workers retreat, then he backs up.
He's like all the Raptors from Jurassic Park at once. He's testing all the defenses. He's all over the place. He's way too smart. He's opening doors.
Yeah, they know how to open doors, and Patience isn't smart enough to stand on the other side of the door and just hold the door handle, which is what I would have done in Jurassic Park if the Raptors had come after me. I would have just sat there holding that all day. He would have got
Then
bored.
when he tests it, he's like, oh, I guess that isn't it. And then he tries something else and it doesn't work either. He's like, oh, this door technology is too much for me as a Raptor with my little tiny bird brain.
I'm going to go knit a sweater. That's what my hands are good for. So this should be ending pretty quickly. This is almost like an arm bar. Now. I mean, Patience has
got him in a choke lock.
Yeah, he's getting testing the limits here. Eventually, Patience has to fold, and here comes the killing blow.
Yeah, it's just there's not enough here for Patience whatsoever. He does have the double RoboPlosses going, so if herO let him sit here for 5 more minutes, maybe he can hold.
GG.
That is it.
herO moves on to the winner's match. Now, Patience is not out yet.
No.
He's going to go to the loser's match, but this is GSL Code S on hard mode here. He's got to win 2 best-of-3s in a row from there. herO will be in our 3rd best-of-3 today. Presumably playing against Dream, but it could be Flash. So
yeah, we'll see. I actually, if you want to hear my prediction here, I think that Flash beats Dream, herO beats Flash, Dream beats Patience, and then Flash beats Dream and gets out. I actually think that's how it's going to go.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
I want to throw that out there before it happens, so everyone can know how smart I am.
Patience looking a lot less shaken than we saw after game 1. I think that he can't really be too hard on himself.
No.
And honestly, I think that series was a good learning experience for him. He will be going up against the Terran no matter what, so it's time to wipe his mind, wipe that slate clean of the thoughts of PvP and start studying his 2 Terran opponents, if we're going to be going to 2 next, so that he can ideally win.
He's going to watch and be like, oh, he's going Marine Siege Tank. That's easy to beat.
No problem. That's
like, but you're
Protoss.
This is a TVT you're watching, my friend.
Pretty packed here in the studio. Not a big shocker. This is the round of 32 group of death.
Yeah.
And we're going to be going on into our next best of 3 here, the TVT. We'll be doing that after this short break, so don't go away.
요즘엔 기회 배우게 하실 거예요?
누군지 한 명만 없으면 완벽한데 그냥 돈은 어떻게 되든 상관이 없고 그냥 말을 좀 많이 하고 싶어요.
흥미가 떨어지기 때문에 저는 그냥 가만히 있는 관망을 하겠습니다.
뿌듯하죠.
꿀을 데려와요, 자체를.
제가 꿀조를 좀 잘 만들어요, 옛날부터.
편하게 하면 바로 뽑아야지. 만만한 경기인데 바로 응징해야죠.